Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Playoff Baseball Live here on SHN. I'm Wally Harmon alongside Kelly DeVoll. And Kelly, we find ourselves opening up the by-district playoff round at Mule Yard in Alamo Heights down here in San Antonio, Texas. But what better way to start it off than playoff baseball with your Georgetown Eagles?
I'm so stinking excited about this. It's all I've been able to think about all week. I've had to do some work during the week, and that's just not okay because I've been thinking about this game tonight, getting excited for it, looking forward to some playoff baseball, and excited about what the future holds.
The Alamo Heights Mules come into the ball game, the 4 seed out of District 26. Your Eagles come in as the 1 seed and co-district champions of 5A Region 4 District 25. They ended up the season on a great note. The way you couldn't write the script any better. You had to win one of the 2 final games to get to the playoffs, and you go ahead and win both of them and take the number 1 seed. A lot of things went on in that. We'll discuss that here in a minute for Georgetown to have come out in the 1 seed when they could have easily ended up the lone 4 seed and be facing off against the New Braunfels Canyon team. But a lot of good baseball to be played starting tonight on this game. But most of your playoff matchups will be starting tomorrow night. This one, just a weird setup. Game 1 tonight here, 7 p.m. at Mule Yard in San Antonio at the Alamo Heights High School. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., we'll be at Georgetown at Eagle Field, back in the friendly confines in the AC to call tomorrow night's ball game. One team wins tonight. They need to win one more tomorrow. If they split, we go to Saturday in an awkward setup, but we go down to Kerrville-Tivy, a District 26 team, to play on a neutral field, so-called, if Game 3 is needed. Kind of the odd setup. They went to a 3-day approach. Most schools going with a Friday doubleheader Saturday if needed. But Coach, Coach Boyd for San Antonio, for Alamo Heights wanted a 1-game playoff. Coach Vieira said, no, thank you.
Right, and that's because the 4th seed in any district isn't going to have that deep of a pitching staff. Of course, Georgetown has just a ridiculously deep pitching staff. So you don't want to give them one shot for one kid to have a career night and beat you and send you home in the first round of the playoffs. So that 3-game set, best of 3, that works out significantly better for Georgetown.
And one time, this is the first year of it, the number 1 seed, district champions coming out of, the number 1 seed out of every district has the right to pick it. And so when Coach Boyd from Alamo Heights wanted the 1-game, Coach Vieira kindly disagreed. And a 3-game set it is based on the number 1 seed getting to pick that. And that's where it came, the home and home with a neutral field in Game 3 for Coach Boyd's happiness. And so the Eagles have one thing in mind. Win tonight, go home tomorrow, win tomorrow, and be done for the weekend, and allow me to attend my crawfish boil on Saturday. That's what I would love to see happen. But the Alamo Heights Mules, they come into the ball game. They had to play in, Kelly. It's funny. Georgetown had to play into the playoffs and ended up the 1 seed. The Mules of Alamo Heights had to play in to make it and be the 4 seed, and they did. They beat Seguin on their final game of the year in the regular season to get to the playoffs, and here they are. We look at different things in comparison. If you look at the 2 districts, New Braunfels Canyon sits in the 1 seed for them, 13-3 overall. Buda Johnson and Dripping Springs both at 11-5, and then Alamo Heights at 10-6. The difference here is District 26 is 8 teams compared to 7 teams in District 25, so 2 more district games played by these schools in District 26 to beat up amongst each other. But Kyle Lehman found themselves on the short end of the stick as they missed the playoffs by 1 game. They were 9-7 in district. The Mules win that last game against the Seguin Matadors to get in. And so here they sit, but they face off against the number 1 team in District 25, one of the co-champions of the 4-way tie. What's the odds of that?
Right.
4 teams all tie at 10-4 overall, and then you split it. Four district champions.
Well, and Wally, we've had conversations about how the seeding took place. You had an extensive conversation with Coach Vieira about that. Tell the folks how Georgetown winds up with the 1 seed and Cedar Park 2, et cetera, et cetera.
So the way the district, talking to Coach Vieira, the way the district and the coaches had set it out and agreed on 4 teams finishing with the same district record. The 4 playoff teams then separate their district wins and losses to just the 3 other playoff teams. Georgetown and Cedar Park, after Georgetown beat Cedar Park, both ended district with a 4-2 record against the other 3 playoff teams. Rouse and Liberty Hill finishing at 2-4 in district against the 3 playoff teams. So right there, the separation began between Georgetown and Cedar Park, the 1 and 2 seeds, Rouse and Liberty Hill, the 3 and 4 seeds. Georgetown then in the head-to-head with Cedar Park, by the benefit of the win on Friday night at senior night at Cedar Park, Georgetown won the head-to-head 2-0, so they become the automatic 1 seed over Cedar Park. They become the 2 seed. How Liberty Hill and Rouse handled their flip of it, if they flipped a coin or they went head-to-head, I thought they split, and so they had to go more in depth. But Liberty Hill comes out the 3 seed in District 25, and the Rouse Raiders come out the 4 seed in District 25.
The alternative to that is coin flips, and I'm glad they go head-to-head. Even if it didn't benefit Georgetown, I'm glad they go head-to-head, so it's the competition on the field that decides those seedings and not a coin flip.
Cedar Park, the runner-up in District 25, starts out against Dripping Springs tomorrow. Game 1 Friday will be at Cedar Park, and then Game 2 and 3, if necessary, will be at Dripping Springs on Saturday. 1 o'clock start on Saturday for Game 2 of that series. And then you go to the 3rd seed, Liberty Hill. They face off against the runners-up in District 26, the Buda Johnson Jaguars. And they start out tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Buda Johnson, so Liberty Hill wins that flip in the sense that they're going to get the second home game, and if Game 3 is necessary, they will get that game 30 minutes after game number 2 on Saturday. They'll begin at 2 o'clock on Saturday. And then the New Braunfels Canyons, the champions of District 26, will take on and you say that the champions of District 26 will take on the lowly 4th seed of District 25. Tongue definitely implanted in the cheek.
The 14th ranked
team in the state.
The number 4 seed.
The Rouse Raiders. So that will start at Rouse tomorrow night at 7 o'clock and then turn around on Saturday and go down to New Braunfels Canyon for a 1 o'clock start for Game 2 and then Game 3 immediately following Game 2 if necessary. But you look at that, and we were talking about that when we say that, tongue firmly planted in the cheek. Then you go to the Texas High School Diamond Pro THSB 5A Top 25 that came out on May 2nd. And you look down it, and you get to number 11, and then you get to number 12 and 13 and 14, and it's the 4 teams from District 25. Georgetown, Cedar Park, Liberty Hill, and Leander Rouse. And that's all benefit from how the seeding came out. They just said, look, that's how we're going to seed them. But all 4 playoff teams from District 25 in the state ranking of top 25s.
Well, and here's what you look at with that. If one of those teams had separated, even by 1 game, and they only have 3 losses in district, top 10 easily, probably top 5. But since it's such a tough district, since everybody's beating up on everybody else, oh, we're relegated to 11, 12, 13, and 14.
Yeah, well,
But it doesn't matter because it's playoffs, baby.
And you're going to play the best 2 out of 3, everyone in this round. Mr. Petty, how are you, sir? And so.
Did you bring food? Did you bring food? Oh, terrible. Yeah.
But then go to record of like opponents between these two teams. Georgetown and Alamo Heights had 4 opponents on their schedule this year, Kelly, that they both played. The Bernie Greyhounds, the Leander Glen Grizzlies, the Smithson Valley Rangers. Can't remember who they are.
Yeah.
And the Vandergrift Vipers. Georgetown went 4-0 against those opponents. The Alamo Heights went 1-3. Bernie, the Greyhounds, Georgetown won 8-0. Alamo Heights lost 5-2. Leander Glen, Georgetown technically went 5-0. I put 4-0. They beat Leander Glen 5-2 and 13-1. Alamo Heights lost to Leander Glen 7-6. Smithson Valley, Georgetown, that was the comeback win. They were down in the semifinals of the first tournament of the year, the Canes tournament here in San Antonio. And they come back to win that and then went on to win the championship. They won that one 8-7. Alamo Heights lost to Smithson Valley 2-0. The Vandergrift Vipers, the like opponent, that both teams were victorious. Georgetown winning that game on Saturday 4-1. Alamo Heights beating Vandergrift 4-2.
And if you look at that, Georgetown scored 38 runs in those games with like opponents, gave up 11. And Alamo Heights is what, 12, 14?
They scored
18 runs, gave up 10.
They scored 10 runs.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Gave up 16.
So
So, but like we talked about,
right.
Pitching is going to make a difference,
Yep.
which is why, you'll look at these teams like Rouse and Liberty Hill and Cedar Park. These teams will want to go 3-game series. They've got the pitching staff. Georgetown definitely has the pitching staff for that. I talked to the Alamo Heights broadcast, and that's one thing they said. We're not deep on pitching. We've done, as they likened it, we've done a good job with a pretty good job with what we've had to do to work with. And so it's a first-year coach and Joey Boyd for Alamo Heights. And so they do face challenges in the first year. The coach has got to figure out what he has. The coach has got to figure out who his players are and who his staple of defensive players and stable of pitchers are. And Coach Vieira kind of has that under his belt in his third year with Georgetown. You've got a slew of seniors over there, 14 or 15 seniors, and they all prepared, but a lot of them can pitch. But you've had the luxury of a pitcher like Nick Silva going several innings deep in a game. Jacob Haddon throwing 7 innings against Cedar Park in the district closer to win the district championship and get the number 1 seed. That game played a lot. We really didn't get to talk much about that game after, but what a night. Georgetown went into Cedar Park on senior night to take on Cedar Park. If Cedar Park wins that game, Georgetown's the number 4 seed and playing against New Braunfels Canyon. And Cedar Park's the lone 3-loss champion of District 25. Georgetown went in there on senior night and spoiled that for the Cedar Park Timberwolves and caused all kinds of havoc, which brought about the 4-way tie.
And what's impressive about that is with so much on the line, Georgetown went in and absolutely dominated that game with everything on the line at Cedar Park's home field. And that was, you contrast that to the week before that happened, week and a half before, and Georgetown went on a 3-game losing streak. Came back, went on a winning streak to end the season, which is exactly what you want to have happen, and it seemed to be in a good place now.
Georgetown came out against Cedar Park, put up a run in every inning in the first 5 innings, at least 1 run. 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and then 4 in the 5th inning before Coach Williams went to his bullpen, and the bullpen came in and shut things down against Georgetown.
Yeah.
He let the starter, Vaughn, go 100 and I think it was 103 pitches is what I had him at the time they pulled him. And so Georgetown got to him the second time in the series this year. That Georgetown was able to get to their starter Vaughn, but they did it early that game, and they jumped on him. And then you have a kid on the mound, and Jacob Haddon, that just came out. He scattered 7 hits over 7 innings. No need to go to the bullpen. Keep them rested. So what does that do for these Georgetown Eagles now? You've sat your bullpen since Tuesday. And if you go back to Tuesday, you've sat your bullpen, other than Wade Denton, for 1 inning for almost 2 weeks now.
Right.
And so a lot of fresh arms, a lot of people available, but you've got your defense set knowing that you've got confidence that this pitching staff is going to show up and take care of business.
And that's the thing that everybody talks about, because whenever we have talked to opposing coaches, when we have talked to fans that we know from opposing teams, every single one of them talks about the pitching staff. And now is when a deep pitching staff, if it's going to pay off for you, it's going to pay off now. And not just having a lot of arms, but a lot of quality arms. And the guys that are coming in from the bullpen are so rested because the starters have gone 5, 6, even 7 innings, and the arms have to be fresh now. So you would think, you got to play the games, but you would think that puts Georgetown at a distinct advantage this weekend against Alamo Heights.
We were talking about it before we came on as we were setting up the lineup cards and everything. You kind of expect a name to pop up as a starter tonight, and then you go, oh, he's not starting. What kind of blessing is that to a coach like Jordan Vieira, who can sit there and go, do I really throw him tonight, or do I throw him? Or do I throw him and save him? And I could throw him or him or him or him. And then know that I've got a Wade Denton, and I've got a Landon Heil, and I've got a Ty Klaus Geismore, and I've got a Scott Beam and a Nolan Jondal. Another thing we talked about last night at the coaches show, Kelly, that I wanted to discuss with you. A lot of playoff baseball happens on Saturdays. You get to this point. We just talked about all the other 3 matchups just in this 2-district matchup in the bi-district round. They're all going to 3-game series with a 3-game series with at least 1 game on Saturday. One thing that Coach Vieira and I discussed last night that I wonder, and you think about it, makes sense, will make a lot of difference. This Georgetown team played almost every Saturday. Alamo Heights coach told Coach Vieira, we've never played on Saturdays. We don't play on Saturdays. Well, this team's accustomed to it.
Right.
Hey, you don't want to get up, but you get up. Not only they get up and go play baseball, they get up and have the Challenger game and participate in that and being involved in the community and being a role model to those special needs kids every Saturday morning, and then follow it up with a doubleheader or a single game, but against 6A opponents, different opponents. So this team is ready for playoff baseball. How much of effect can that have on these teams that didn't spend their year with any Saturday games to prep their kids to wake up early?
Well, and look at what Georgetown did last Saturday. Took a top 10 Westlake team and wore them out. Were they throwing their best pitchers? No, neither were we. We weren't throwing our starters. We weren't throwing the guys that have consistently been. We threw some other arms, and they couldn't touch them. And Westlake is a great hitting baseball team. They've got talent in their pitching staff. They're ranked, number 9 in the state in 6A baseball, and got whipped.
And so quite a performance. But Coach even said these boys are conditioned. This team is conditioned to get up on a Saturday morning, to get to the field, to get ready, and to be ready after a late night Friday night. It's not turn around and have the day off and let things just be as they may. And so a distinct advantage that I think will come into play when you have these teams that go to a Saturday all of a sudden and haven't been playing. You saw where Rouse was playing Saturday games. We had talked to Michael Francis about that in the broadcast for Rouse that they play on Saturdays. Glenn has played some Saturday games. So a lot of the district members of District 25 put some effort into Saturday games. And Coach Vieira said that's a must. In this program, we do that. And one, it's because we're preparing for the whole season. We're not just preparing for, hey, let's get some games in. Those are games that mean something, that prepare a body and a mindset for these players to be ready to suit up on a Saturday morning.
Right. For Alamo Heights tonight, what you have to be concerned about is you have a team that started this season with not very high expectations. You've got a team that probably nobody in this district was looking at as being one of the 4 representatives when the playoffs get here. Now you've got some seniors over there in the Alamo Heights dugout that have accomplished something nobody gave them a chance to do. You've got to be aware of that. Their level of excitement, they're ready to go tonight. So Georgetown can't just come in here and think, hey, we've got the G on our chest, on our helmets, we're going to win this game. They got to come out and play sound, fundamental baseball. It's still the exact same game.
This field that we're at tonight, Mule Yard, is an all-grass infield, all-grass outfield. Home plate area is the only turf that you'll see on the field, as it is the brown-reddish turf with the blue outline border with mules on the back. A full dirt infield, a dirt pitching mound. 302. It's a weird layout for this yard. 302 down the right field line. 361 to straightaway center field, and 341 down the left field line. As we see, the starting pitcher for the Mules in the bullpen right now will be a lefty. Let's go with the starting lineup for the Mules, and then what we'll do is we'll go to a timeout and come back with the starting lineup for your Eagles.
I was going to say that 302 down that right field line has Zachary Mazick excited.
Landon Heil.
And
Riley Leininger.
Yeah. Super sophomore, lefty.
The Alamo Heights Mules come into the ball game 15, 14-1 on the year, 10-6 in district. Their head coach, Joey Boyd. Assistant coaches, Colton Hermes, Billy Kraft, Todd Dorgan, and Mario Guerra. They represent the 5A Region 4 District 26. Their starting lineup goes this way for tonight's Game 1 in the bi-district round. Batting first and playing shortstop, a senior, number 1, Bennett Angelo. Batting second and playing third base, a senior, number 5, James Sobey. Batting third and on the mound, a senior, number 15, Edward Hart. Batting fourth and catching, a sophomore, number 13, Bruno Robles. Batting fifth and the designated hitter, number 8, a senior, Holden Carter. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 27, sophomore, Will Broderick. Batting seventh and playing left field, a sophomore, number 4, Parks Zunker. Batting eighth and playing second base, a junior, number 6, Jackson Duffin. And batting ninth and playing center field is the junior, number 11, Corbin Gunter. Your first baseman for Alamo Heights is number 14. That is the junior, Harrison Sobey. So your corners will be Sobey brothers, the junior Harrison Sobey at first, and the senior James Sobey at third base. The lefty, number 15, Edward Hart, will be the starting pitcher and batting third. So Angelo, Sobey, and Hart, the top 3 in the Mule lineup. Robles, Carter, and Broderick, the middle third. Zunker, Duffin, and Gunter, the bottom third for the Alamo Heights Mules. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll give you the starting lineup for your Georgetown Eagles. Get ready for the national anthem and the first pitch. You're listening to Eagle Baseball here on SHN Sports. Welcome back to Georgetown Eagle Playoff Baseball, live here on SHN Sports. The Georgetown Eagles, the visitors tonight here in game number 1. For Georgetown, the school, the superintendent, Dr. Fred Brent, the high school principal, Brian Johnson. Athletic director is Jason Dean. The Eagles come into the ball game 23-6 overall, 10-4 district, and the number 1 seed, co-district champions of 5A District 25. It has a beautiful ring to it. They will start it off after we talk about the coaches. Head coach in his 3rd season with the Georgetown Eagles as the head coach, 7th year on the program, an alumnus of Georgetown High School, Jordan Vieira. His assistant coaches, Chad Payne, David Durrell, Robert Halm, and Barry Johnson. Coach, manager, and heart of Georgetown baseball, can't forget him, is Mr. Jared Frimmel. Other staff that makes it go will be after our starting lineup. Batting first and catching, a senior, number 19, Zachary Mazick. Batting second and playing second base, a senior, number 2, E.J. Davis. Batting third and playing right field, the senior, number 6, Landon Heil. Batting fourth and playing first base, the anchor, number 25, Reese Bell. Batting fifth and locking down the hot corner at third base, senior, number 5, Logan Smith. Batting sixth, the super sophomore designated hitter, number 20, Riley Leininger. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, the junior, number 21, Eli Hellman. Batting eighth and playing left field, don't pronounce it wrong or we'll get on you, senior, number 3, Ty Klaus Keismore. And batting ninth, the center fielder, senior, Andon Petty. On the mound for your Eagles tonight, number 9, the senior, Nick Silva. He comes in with a record of 2-1, an ERA 4.958, and that is a deceiving ERA for this young man. He struck out 26 batters, walked 10, hit 8, at a whip of 1.625. He will start things out on the mound for your Eagles. Athletic trainers Chad Hennessy and Vanessa Rideau. Student trainers Alyssa Stock and Macy Denton. Stat girls Grace King, Carter Campbell, and Dylan Jones. The Georgetown Eagles, of course, I don't like to say it. I wrote it on my card here as I got ready as blue and white. It's Georgetown blue and white. It's a difference. You don't understand, you won't get it. It's like G is not a logo, G is a target. And so all the athletic trainers, the assistants, I tell you what, these girls help this program go. They are here every day, in and out, working with this team that make the coaches' lives that much better. Coach Vieira and Jared Fremmel at home plate with the 4 umpire crew and Coach Joey Boyd of the Alamo Heights Mules for the coaches meeting. The Georgetown Eagles out of the first base dugout tonight. The Mules in the third base dugout. The Georgetown Eagles, the white pants, the black and Georgetown blue piping, the black and Georgetown blue and white stirrups, the black uniforms with the G logo on the front, and the Georgetown blue numerals outlined in white on the back, and the black caps with the Georgetown blue Eagle talent outlined in white. The home team tonight in game number 1 is the Mules of Alamo Heights. They come in with the all-white unis, white pants with blue, navy, and gold piping, the navy and gold and white stirrups, the white jerseys with Mules and script lettering, script print across the front, and then they have the blue numerals with yellow outline around them. They have the white caps, I believe, with Alamo Heights, the AH logo on the front. Hard to see with all the sunglasses. The sun setting behind us. I tell you what, we wouldn't know it right now because we have the benefit of Kelly bringing the shelter tonight, and we've got it locked down. And, man, I tell you what, it's making a huge difference here tonight.
Putting his banner behind us was a good call.
Yeah, blocking the sun off our necks, too. So
we're fragile, man.
I tell you what, you get up here and all this energy expended. We don't want to pass out in the middle of this game. The Georgetown Eagles will hit first tonight. Tomorrow, we will be back at Eagle Field. That's the important one to remember. 7 o'clock first pitch. 6:30, we'll be back on with the pregame. But more importantly, like we talked about in the coaches show last night, we've got to fill the stands tomorrow night and make it an uncomfortable setting for those Alamo Heights Mules as they come in as visitors in game number 2. Especially a win tonight. We've just got to make that place rock. It's a beautiful stadium, lots of shade, and an advantage that Georgetown has done so well.
Boy, we've got a great crowd tonight. I can't really see the Alamo Heights side, but a lot of folks have come from Georgetown. We're excited to have them here. Good crowd representing your Eagles.
While they do the starting lineups with the PA announcer, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll bring the national anthem, and we'll get ready for the first inning. You're listening to Playoff Baseball, Georgetown Eagles style, live here on SHN Sports. We'll be right back.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Back here live at the Mule Yard as we get ready for tonight's national anthem and then the start of the ball game. Bi-district playoffs coming to you live here on SHN Sports. And we will bring you the national anthem here in a minute when they get done with the sound effects. Not sure what they're waiting on. Everybody's staring at the booth waiting for the national anthem.
At this time, would you please rise?
So here we go. We'll bring you the national anthem and be ready for action. We're back live here at the Mule Yard in Alamo Heights High School, San Antonio, Texas. Defensively for the Alamo Heights Mules, Kelly.
Starting pitcher is Hart. Behind the plate is Robles. Left to right across the infield at third base, Jay Sobey. Angelo and Duffin and the brother H. Sobey at first. Zunker, Gunter, and Broderick are out in the field for the Alamo Heights Mules.
The big lefty Hart on the mound to start things off. Robles, the catcher, they finish warm-ups. Here in the top of the first, Zachary Modzik, E.J. Davis, and Landon Heil due up for the Eagles. Here in game number one. There we go. Georgetown and Alamo Heights. I forgot to update. And we'll go to the top of the first inning. 2 pitches remaining. Georgetown Eagles. Modzik, the lefty, will lead it off for the Eagles. He'll come into the ball game. .452 batting average. Modzik, the commit to the Baylor Bears, the Big 12 school up in Waco, Texas. Fun last night to finish off all the seniors. The last 4 seniors got to interview them after talking to Coach Pierre, and just a pleasure. Jacob Haddon, Landon Heil, Nick Nolan got to come in, even though he's been out since the injury. And then we visited with, there's one more, and I'll get it here in just a second. But it was so fun to visit with them.
Right.
These kids just looking forward to this run, the honor to put this jersey on, this uniform on. Modzik will step in for the first pitch. Hard comes set. He'll be from the stretch. The first pitch of the ball game is high for ball 1 to Zachary Modzik.
It's got to be this angle here, but that pitching mound looks about 58 feet.
It does look
6
closer,
inches.
yeah. Hard comes set. The 1-0 pitch to Modzik. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. And you got to think, Coach Boyd and the Mules have to come with their ace tonight and try to not fall behind to Georgetown. One game going back to Georgetown tomorrow. So the big Hart, the lefty. The 1-1 pitch to Mazik, and it hits him. And the leadoff batter aboard to start the ball game for the Eagles.
Zach's celebrating like he just hit a bomb to the fence because that's his job, get on base.
And here comes the senior, number 8, Zach Zavala. Got cleared about 2 weeks ago to come back after the injury. He's the commit to the Cougars at University of Houston. So he'll be running for the catcher, Mazik, here tonight. In steps E.J. Davis, the second base senior. He comes in with a .373 batting average. He'll step in here. You got to expect to see the bunt. The third baseman playing in on the grass about 3 or 4 steps. Pickoff attempt over to first, and not in time. Zavala just gets back. Nice move by the big lefty Hart.
And you cannot fall asleep on the base pads. You can't have base running errors.
And one thing the Eagles did in the last 3 games, no errors defensively.
Yep.
And you didn't have any base path mistakes, and you can't have them tonight. Pickoff attempt.
Got him.
He
dropped
by the
it.
first baseman.
I'm sorry, I stepped all over you, man. I apologize, but
Not the number 2 mic will be muted for the rest of the ball game. But Zavala can't take that lead.
No.
You just can't take a chance here. You get the leadoff runner aboard in a playoff game. You cannot get picked off. Hart's got a great move. The big lefty comes set again. Zavala with a lead back towards first. The first pitch. Davis will take it on the outside corner for a called strike.
hard throwing left-hander. Boy, he's got some gas behind that fastball. Big kid, so they need to get to him early if they're going to get to him.
Now the third baseman, Jay Sobey, backs up, back to the dirt. Zavala leads off first. The pickoff attempt dives back safely there. So clearly worried about the runner. Trying to get into scoring position here with no outs or 1 out. E.J. Davis, the second baseman. No balls and 1 strike. Landon Heil, the right fielder. Landon Heil was the other senior last night that we got to talk to. Fun visiting with those 4 kids last night. Zavala leads off. The 0-1 pitch, low in the turf. Zavala's going to get a late jump. He's going to head down. The throw is going to get him. The tag by the shortstop. For out number 1. He couldn't decide what to do. Robles did a great job. The ball went off of the umpire's leg and stayed at home plate. Zavala gets picked off, trying to advance. So 2-6 on the putout. And the leadoff base runner is erased here in the top of the first. So you see how that comes back to haunt you. Talked about it. You can't have base running mistakes, and right off the bat, the Eagles have a runner picked off. So now Davis will step back in with 1 out and a 1-1 count.
Well, and now you know what this catcher's capable of on those throws down to second, because he threw a rope down there. It was a beautiful throw.
And it's funny, they put him on their own lineup that they sent us this week as a sophomore utility/pitcher. The 1-1 pitch, Davis hits it back up the middle. The shortstop ranges over to get it, throws it over in the dirt. But Sobey makes the play. Angelo, a little comfortable in the throw there, but gets it there. And the first baseman, Harrison Sobey, makes the pick. 6-3 on the putout for 2 outs now. Now coming up, Landon Heil. Heil steps in with a .397 batting average. Step in from the right side with 2 outs here in the top of the first. Hartle comes set in the stretch. The first pitch to Heil. And Heil slaps it down the third baseline, but it curls foul for a long strike. 0-1 to count.
Boy, he hit that ball hard.
He barreled
Good
that one
night.
up. And I think what you were talking about to it. He sees the fastball. He sees heat's going to be thrown. And he loaded up and was ready for it. Just got a little out in front of it.
He's got a .569 slugging percentage, so he's got some power, the ability to get a multi-base hit, get some extra bases, keep this going. And Georgetown's done some damage throughout the year with 2 outs.
Heil steps back in. No balls, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Hart, the 0-1 pitch, and Heil sends it into center field. And it's a 2-out single.
Exactly what you want. Now you got a runner on. Big Reese Bell coming up to do some damage, hopefully.
And go with Reese's stats on the year.
So Reese comes in. He's averaging .329 at the plate, has an on-base percentage of .449 with a slugging percentage of .579 and an OPS of 1.028.
Bell steps in from the right side. Logan Smith, the third baseman, on deck for your Eagles. Heil lead off first. Harrison Sobey holds him on there. Hard comes set. The first pitch to Bell. He checks his swing. It doesn't go, but it's a called strike. 0-1 to count now. To Reese Bell. Heil leads back off first. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The 0-1 pitch, way outside for ball 1.
Got some fella by the name of Rob Hip listening in tonight because his Huntsville Hornets aren't playing tonight. They play tomorrow.
I think this may be one of the biggest televised or broadcast games tonight. I believe there's 3 different broadcasts, none better than your own SHN broadcast. A pick off a move. Heil dives back hesitantly there. Something that Hart has got. That lefty has a good, smooth pickoff move.
Nice pickoff move.
But you got to think that'll be a topic of discussion in between innings with the Eagles and Coach Vieira. We cannot have base running mistakes. 1 ball, 1 strike to Reese Bell. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Heil leads off first. The 1-1 pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. An off-speed pitch there, Kelly. And Reese Bell takes a peek at it.
He does such a great job so far early in this game because that move to first is deceptive. It starts off looking a lot like his delivery to the plate. Not in a balk way, but.
And the quick pickoff attempt as he steps off the left foot, throws over. But Heil dives back in safely. 1 ball, 2 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the first. Reese Bell back in from the right side.
But he's accurate with that quick throw, too.
Heil leads back off. Harrison Sobey holds him on. The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. And the Eagles go down here in the first inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the first. The Eagles nothing, and the Mules coming up to bat. More Eagle baseball here on SHN in just a moment. Back here live at Mule Yard at Alamo Heights High School. Kelly, the pitcher for tonight for the Eagles.
Nick Silva, the senior right-hander, steps in tonight. He's got a 2-1 record on the season, a very deceptive 4.958 ERA. He struck out 26 this year. He's got 10 bases on balls. He's hit 8 batters and has a whip of 1.625.
Defensively for the Eagles, you have that screen.
I do. If I'll pay attention, be loads of fun.
And we'll go to that here in a second. Bennett Angelo will lead it off here for the Mules. He's the shortstop. Where's number 1? He'll step in from the right side against Nick Silva to lead it off here in the bottom of the first. The first pitch from Silva in there for a called strike. The last performance on the year for Silva was at Liberty Hill, or against Liberty Hill at home, in one of the 2 games that Georgetown had to win to make the playoffs, and he had a great outing. Second pitch just misses low, and outside, ball 1, 1-1.
Defensively for the Eagles, Klaus Keismore, Petty, and Heil are in the field.
And the 1-1 pitch to Angelo. Inside, off the glove of Mazik, back to the screen for a 2-1 count.
Smith, Hellman, Davis, and Bell are on the infield. Silva on the mound, and Mazak behind the plate.
The 2-ball, 1-strike pitch. Outside corner, called strike 2. 2-2 now the count to the leadoff hitter, Bennett Angelo, for the Mules. Bennett back in the box. Silva from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Not sure where it missed, but it was called a ball.
Zoinks.
3-2 the count now to the leadoff batter.
That was worth a Scooby-Doo reference.
And now the payoff pitch. Misses outside for a leadoff walk.
Well, and you hear the excitement for this Alamo Heights team. They get a base runner on, and there is much celebration taking place.
James Sobey, the third baseman, steps in. From the right side with a base runner on first. And no outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Silva to the stretch now. The first pitch, ground ball out to short. Hellman up with it, over to second for one. On to first, scoop by Bell, and a 6-4-3 double play gets the Eagles out of harm's way there. The leadoff runner aboard on the walk, a race on the double play. Hellman to Davis to Bell. What a play there and a good scoop by Reese Bell at first.
Hellman did a beautiful job of playing that ball like you want to and absorbing that hop so he was ready in case you get a goofy hop off that dirt. Played it beautifully, made a nice throw, and then a good quick throw over to first for the double play.
The pitcher, Hart, steps in, first pitch swinging, and hits it to right field for a two-out single.
Boy, how big was that double play?
First hit of the ball game for the Mules, and that'll bring up the catcher, Robles. Bruno Robles, number 13, steps in from the left side as well. But something that you're it may be confusing. We'll see who the courtesy runner here is for the pitcher, Hart. Number 7, William Blake.
Is he using a wooden bat?
Looks like it, but I think it's I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, it's just a very dirty metal bat. But a full count walk to your leadoff batter, and the next two batters have swung at the first pitch. First pitch here to Robles in there for a called strike, 0-1 to count. But, yeah, how big is that double play from your middle infield to get you base runners eliminated? Blake leads off. The 0-1 pitch popped up down over into left field. Klaus Keismore is going to give chase into foul territory and make the catch for out number 3. So the Mules down here in the first. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on. And after 1, we're scoreless, 0-0. Your score back with the second inning here on SHN Sports coverage of Georgetown Eagle baseball. To the top of the second inning. Logan Smith, Riley Loniger, and Eli Hellman do up for the Eagles. Still keeping the live Wonga Boom in the background. Love to hear it. An opportunity to give a shout out to the Georgetown Lady Eagles softball team as they prepare for round 2 of the playoffs tomorrow night. They won 2-0 in round 1 against Buda Johnson. And we saw a couple of them listening live here tonight. And so shout out to them as they prepare for round 2 of the playoffs tomorrow night. Logan Smith, your third baseman, will step in here to lead things off in the top of the second. 12 pitches thrown in the first inning by Edward Hart.
Third baseman, number 5, Logan.
He's back on the mound for his second inning of work. Allowed 1 hit, struck out 1 through 12 pitches, hit 1 batter in his first inning. Logan Smith will step in here from the right side. First pitch to Logan Smith, a breaking ball in there for a called strike. A different look there as Hart started this at bat with a breaking ball. No balls and 1 strike to Logan Smith, the third baseman. Smith back in the box, the 0-1 pitch. And Smith fouls it off back to the screen. for a foul ball. Strike two. 0-2 the count now.
On the season, Logan's batting .259 with a .377 on-base percentage, a slugging percentage of .3258, and an OPS of .704.
And lockdown defense at the hot corner. He'll take time here as Hart took his time trying to get the sign from the catcher Robles. Smith back in the box. No balls and 2 strikes. No outs here in the top of the second. We're scoreless as the Eagles come up here in the second. The 0-2 pitch, slap foul down the third base line.
Makes me glad I moved my truck.
Any damage to a car, remember, H&R Automotive Auto Body, one of the sponsors of Georgetown Eagle Booster Club. So, an opportunity to give them a shout out. H&R Auto Body, located in Leander, Texas. 0-2 the count to Logan Smith. Hart with the pitch. Outside for a ball. 1-2 now the count. Riley Leiniger, the left-handed hitting designated hitter on deck. The super sophomore. Smith steps back in from the right side. Hart from the stretch. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Hart comes set. The 1-2 pitch. And Smith fouls it off back out of play.
Logan doing a great job of keeping this at-bat alive. Hart has been impressive in this first inning and now into the second inning with his control. And he's got a really lively fastball, and his breaking ball does some good stuff too. So if he can keep those combined, keep the Georgetown hitters off balance, then he may have some success tonight.
Takes a lot of time getting the pitch. A totally different outlook on the pitching performance from the Mules. They take their time on the mound, getting a sign where the Eagle pitchers are ready to go right away. As Hart comes set, 1 ball, 2 strike pitch, and a ground ball out towards third. One Sobey on the run, throws to Harrison Sobey at first for out number 1 here in the second inning. 5-3 on the putout, and that'll bring up Riley Leiniger, a sophomore designated hitter. Will step in.
We call him the super sophomore for a reason. The batting average is a little bit deceptive, but that on-base percentage of almost .500 has served him well this year. And Riley's done a really good job of delivering timely hits when he needs them and driving in runs.
One of those was against Marble Falls. At Marble Falls, he doubled off the right field wall, and it kind of spun the momentum when the Eagles were down 3-0 after 1. The first pitch to Leiniger, off the glove of Robles, over towards the first base dugout. 4-1. 1-0 the count to Riley Leiniger. Eli Hellman, the shortstop, on deck. Leiniger back in from the left side. And Hart looks in, gets the pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch, and Leiniger swinging a miss. Count evens up at 1-1. A great crowd here tonight.
I didn't get to talk to Riley before the game, so I'm kind of wondering, first playoff appearance for this sophomore, if he's got any nerves going.
The 1-1 pitch just misses inside. I think it broke late across as it came through. 2-1 to count. It was a beautiful pitch, but it missed. It looked like it was breaking as it crossed. Riley Leiniger ahead now in the count. 2 balls and a strike, the 2-1 pitch. Leiniger slaps it to the left. James Sobey up with it. He'll throw across to first base in time for out number 2, 5-3. Again in the book. Leiniger took it the opposite field, the opposite way, and now Eli Hellman, the junior shortstop, will step up.
Eli batting .325 on the season, .475 OBP, a slugging percentage of .377, and an on-base or an OPS of .852.
Hellman, the shortstop, steps in from the right side. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Edward Hart looks in, shakes off one sign, gets the pitch, and now comes set. The first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1 the count to Eli Hellman. Ty Klaus Geismore waiting in the on-deck circle for the Eagles. Hellman back in. And a little mix-up between the pitcher Hart and the catcher Robles. So he'll call a quick timeout. Meet with Robles to make sure he gets that straightened out. Hear the Eagle dugout and our field mic. They constantly chirp the entire game. And they take pride in that. Talking to some of the seniors last night, one of them, the relief pitcher, he said, when I'm not pitching, my job is to get this going. And Nick Nolan said the challenge of being injured is, okay, now be the biggest cheerleader for this team. And boy, do they do it. The 0-1 pitch. And a ball slap foul towards the third base dugout. 0-2 now the count to Eli Hellman. 2 outs here in the top of the second.
Hart has done a good job to this point in the game of getting out in front of these hitters, getting that count on his favor, and you can keep the hitters off balance. You go up 0-2 on them.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second. Hellman back in from the right side. Hart takes his time, and Hellman will call timeout. Totally different look in readiness from the Mules to the Eagles pitching staff. Hart now gets the sign, comes set. The 0-2 pitch to Hellman, and Hellman hits it out towards third. James Sobey up with it, throws across the diamond to Harrison Sobey in time for out number 3. 5-3 seems to be the theme of the top of the second. The Eagles go in order. After 1.5, we're still scoreless. We come back with more Eagle baseball and SHN after this. The bottom of the second inning, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Mules. Carter, Broderick, and Zunker. Holden Carter, the designated hitter, steps in for his first time tonight. From the right side, Nick Silva back on the mound for the Eagles. In the 1-inning pitch, he allowed 1 hit, walked 1. First pitch swinging, and Carter fouls it off down the third baseline for strike 1. Silva only threw 10 pitches in the first inning, allowed 1 hit, walked 1, but had a beautiful double play behind his back. This one skips in for ball 1, 1-1 to count.
I want to welcome our viewers on YouTube. Thanks for joining us for this game tonight. Danielle Hutchinson letting us know that the Georgetown Eagle softball team is watching from home.
This ball sent into center field. On the run is Petty, and he'll make the catch right before the wall. Andon Petty, you're a center fielder, runs it down. 361 to dead straightaway center field. And Andon Petty makes the catch about 2 steps before running into the wall for out number 1. F8 in the book. And that'll bring up the right fielder, number 27, Will Broderick. He's the left-handed hitter. He'll step in here.
I asked Andon when we interviewed him at the coaches show if he was the fastest guy on the team, and it sure looked like it there.
The first pitch to Broderick. Misses outside for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Ground ball down the first baseline, but foul. 1-1 to count now.
Nice sure-handed grab by the coach.
Gotta appreciate that. After what we saw on Saturday from Coach Vieira. I forgot to talk to him about that yesterday. The 1-1 pitch fouled off down the third baseline.
I'm surprised he didn't talk to you about that.
Silva jammed Broderick on the inside pitch. And he fought it off down the third baseline. Out of play. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Silva from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Just misses low. For ball 2. 2-2 to count now. To the right fielder, Broderick. The 2-2 pitch from Silva. Inside corner. Just misses. And the count runs full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
The Eagle dads who normally stand there behind the home plate will let him know.
The payoff pitch driven into center field. A 1-out single for Broderick. second hit of the ball game for the Mules. And that'll bring up Parks Zunker, the left fielder. And where's number 4? He'll step in from the right side. With one out here in the bottom of the second. Looked like Broderick was waiting for a good pitch there on the 3-2 pitch, and he got it and drove it into center field for the one-out single. First pitch to Zunker. Mazick will throw down back behind Broderick. He'll slide back in safely. The ball was high. The pitch was high for ball 1, 1-0. Zunker had squared around the bunt, pulled it back. So it looks like small ball in the minds of Coach Boyd as well.
You're going to have to grind out some runs against this Eagle team because you know 1 or 2 is probably not going to do it.
The 1-0 pitch. Zunker pulls it back, hits the ball out to short. Hellman up with it. Over to Davis at second, on to first. In time, 6-4-3 double play. And the Mules go quietly here in the second. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, no runners left on base. After 2 innings, we're scoreless. 0-0. Back with more Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment. Back here at Mule Yard, we go to the top of the third. The 8-9-1 hitters due up for the Eagles. Ty Klaus Geismore, Andon Petty, and Zachary Mazick due up here for the Eagles. Ty Klaus Geismore, Kelly.
Ty comes in batting .333 on the season, .424 OBP, and a slugging percentage of .457. His OPS is .881 for the trusty senior.
Klaus Geismore steps in from the right side. His first time at bat here in the ballgame. Edward Hart, 25 pitches thrown through 2 innings. He's given up 1 hit, struck out 1, hit 1. Starts off the inning here against Klaus Geismore. Check swing. The umpire said he went around, so strike 1. And you couldn't have called it any quicker. They're going to have to manufacture some runs against this Eagle defense, and 2 double plays in 2 innings has cost the Mules. The 0-1 pitch outside for a ball. 1-1 the count now to Ty Klaus Geismore.
We've had a lot of conversations with the coaches and players about the defense that's behind this pitching staff, and that's part of the reason why the pitching staff has had such great success.
Hart comes set, the 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch, up and away. 2-1 now the count to Ty Klaus Geismore. Andon Petty on deck for the Eagles. The 2-1 pitch. Klaus Geismore grounds it. High hopper to the pitcher Hart. He'll field it, make the throw to first in time for the first out. 1-3 on the putout. And Andon Petty will now step in for his first plate appearance here in the ball game with 1 out in the top of the third.
Andon's batting .368 on the season, of OBP of .494, and the senior has a slugging percentage of .368. His on-base plus slugging percentage is .862.
Petty steps in with 1 out. Here in the top of the third. Swings at the first pitch, drives it down the first baseline, but it curls out a foul. That foul ball brought to you by H&R Auto Body in Leander, Texas.
Into the parking lot. And that one made you glad you moved your truck.
Yes, it did. 0-1 the count to Andon Petty. Thankful for the parking in the park across the street after these foul balls here in the first few innings. The 0-1 pitch to Petty. On the bottom half of the zone for a called strike. 0-2 the count now. to the senior center fielder, Andon Petty. Zachary Mozick, the catcher, waits on deck for the Eagles.
It's going to be interesting to see if they can do anything different the second time through the order against this pitcher.
The 0-2 pitch just misses outside for ball one. Good spot there on the 0-2 pitch by Hart.
Yeah, it was. That very easily could have been called a strike. It's been consistently a lower strike zone, so.
And Andon Petty held off and took it for ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Andon Petty. Hart comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Low in the turf for ball 2. 2-2 the count now.
Been several times this season when Andon's gone down 0-2 to pitchers and been able to get that count back full and be able to fight off some pitches for a successful at-bat. We'll see if we can do that here.
2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the top of the third. The 2-2 pitch. Low for ball 3.
And there you go.
But more than that, even, you love to see some of these batters being patient in the at-bats. See some pitches. Your first time through, get some recognition on this pitcher on Hart and get this pitch count up a little bit higher. Only 12 pitches in the first inning thrown, 13 in the second. Hart comes set. The payoff pitch to Petty. And he slaps it down the first baseline, but it trickles foul. So a good at-bat here by Andon Petty, down 0-2.
That was a save-me swing, just protecting the plate.
At that point, you think he's looking for something, got something different, and fought it off. Live to see another pitch.
Yeah. And that's what you like to see out of these seniors in the batting order, especially at the bottom of the order. When that 7, 8, 9 hitters can produce something, boy, that just makes such a difference.
The payoff pitch. Petty fouls it off the catcher. Robles, he comes up shaking a hand, so the umpire will walk a ball out to Hart. Give Robles a chance to reset behind the plate. One of these, they keep them in the stats, and, to each coach it can mean something different every time. But a quality at bat. Now into the 7th pitch of the at bat, the next one.
Yeah, and Andon struggled a few weeks ago, so coach moved him down the order a little bit, and he's really performed well in that number 9 slot.
And I think in a position where he could have moved up, and I think coach said, I think I found the hole to keep him in, and he produces getting on and then being driven in by the top of the lineup.
And that's part of that senior leadership as well.
Payoff pitch and a ball. Struck into right field, but right at the right fielder, Broderick. He'll make the line drive catch for out number 2. L9 in the book. But a good 8-pitch at bat there by Andon Petty. Sees multiple pitches and takes an 0-2 count, deep 3-2 with 3 foul balls. And so it's what you like to see out of Andon as now Zachary Mozick comes up for his second at bat.
And Andon likes to go opposite field like that. I think he put that ball almost exactly where he wanted to put it. The right fielder just got a good jump on it, was able to make a play.
Now steps in Zachary Mozick. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Or no, he was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. Steps in here, check swing, foul ball. For strike 1. Mozick on a 1-1 count was hit in the back. Reach base to lead it off, but then Zach Zavala tried to advance on a pass ball that hit the umpire's shin guard and bounced back towards Robles into fair territory. And he was thrown out trying to advance to second. 0-1 to count to Mozick. The 0-1 pitch. Just low. Ball 1. 1-1 to count now. To Mozick.
Slugging percentage of .677, so he can get some extra base hits as well.
Mozick back in. The 1-1 pitch. And he slaps it out towards short. Shortstop Angelo comes up with it, fires across the diamond in the dirt. And Harrison Sobey cannot make the play and dig it out of the dirt. So Mozick will reach base. I'm sure that'll be an error there. The throw in the dirt. So they'll give it to the shortstop, E6. And now for the second time in the ballgame, though, Mozick gets on base some way, somehow. And you'd love to see it out of your senior catcher, Zach Zavala. Back into courtesy run for the catcher. And that'll bring up E.J. Davis. He's 0 for 1 in the ballgame. He grounded out to the shortstop. Back in the first inning. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner on first. Zavala leads off. The first pitch to Davis, swinging. Fouled off down the first baseline. 0-1 to count. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Zach Zavala leads off first base. Harrison Sobey holds him on. But Davis takes a timeout, and a lot of these Eagles are, as Hart takes plenty of time, not doing anything extra to speed the game up.
If you're not comfortable in there, call time and step out.
Hart comes set. The 0-1 pitch to Davis. Swinging, and it's into the right center gap. A layout, not going to get there. Zavala around second. He's going to score easily. Davis heads to second base. Zavala around third, and he'll be in for the first Eagle run of the ball game. An RBI double from E.J. Davis, and the Eagles on the board here in the top of the third.
And it's so stinking hard to be a fan and call a baseball game because I just want to freak out in the microphone and just can't do that.
The center fielder Gunter took a chance there and laid out for it and was close to it, but once it hit the ground, Zavala was running on the 2-out hit, and he took off running, and he wasn't slowing down, and that's why you put that speedy runner in for the catcher. Zavala scores all the way from first base, and the Eagles strike first on the RBI double with 2 outs.
There's your 2-out damage.
In steps Landon Heil. He's 1 for 1 on the night. The first pitch to him, swing and a miss for strike 1. Heil with the only hit in the ballgame before that double by Davis. He singled in the first, but was left stranded at first base.
That first time through the order, you saw the Eagles go down relatively easy. Only got 1 hit out of him the first time through the order, but they're being aggressive when they come up facing this second time, and I love seeing that.
The 0-1 count to Landon Heil. Pitch misses outside, evens up the count at 1-1. That umpire stayed consistent on that outside pitch right there.
Yes.
That late breaker that comes in from Hart. You hear some moans and groans.
That breaking pitch had some filth on it. It's disgusting.
Evens up the count to Landon Heil. 1-1 the count with 2 outs. Runner at second, and E.J. Davis. The 1-1 pitch to Heil, and he hits it out towards shortstop. The shortstop, Angelo, up with it. He'll fake the throw, and then he'll tag Davis at second base as he was waiting for that throw. Good play there by the shortstop. Confidence in his arm to not create an error, but just making a smart play. He took a chance there, but records the out for out number 3. But not before the Eagles strike first here in the game. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and no runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the third, 1-0. Georgetown leads it over the Mules. Back with the bottom of the third and more Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment. Go to the bottom of the third. Georgetown strikes in the top of the third for 1 run. They lead it 1-0 as the Mules come up here in the bottom of the third. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up here for the Mules. Jackson Duffin, the second baseman, steps in to lead things off. Swings at the first pitch and pops it up towards second base. E.J. Davis, a few steps to his left and in for out number 1. P4 in the book. And that'll bring up the center fielder, number 11, Corbin Gunter. Gunter's first appearance, the number 9 hitter in the lineup, with the number 1 hitter in the lineup, Angelo, due up next for the Mules. The first pitch of the at-bat to Gunter, and he slaps it into right field, but the line drive right at Heil in return in kind, and L9 in the book for out number 2.
And that's another issue we've talked to the coaches about, that 1 pitch, 1 out, first batter. The next rule is you're going to take a pitch.
And that's 2 pitches, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the third as Angelo comes up. He is not recorded an official bat. He walked in his first appearance. Steps in here, and he squares around the bunt, but bunts it foul off of Mazik and the home plate umpire. So 0-1 count to Angelo.
Get them all.
Angelo reached on a walk, but then it was the first out of the 6-4-3 double play that James Sobey hit into.
I could use a Sobey green tea right about now.
Does sound good. 0-1 the count to Angelo. Silva with the pitch, misses outside, evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Sad there's no immaculate inning. I like the immaculate innings.
The 1-1 pitch. It skips in from the left side batter's box for ball number 2. 2-1 to count. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. The 2-1 pitch from Silva on the outside corner, called strike 2. 2-2 now the count to Bennett Angelo. Silva from the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Misses just low. And another full count to Angelo. He walked on a full count in his first appearance. The payoff pitch from Silva. Outside corner, called strike 3 as Angelo throws the bat, rolls his eyes, but nonetheless, he's down for out number 3. Coach Vieira quickly catches Silva there, coming off the mound. But the Eagles retire the Mules in order in the bottom of the 3rd. After 3 innings, 1-0, Georgetown leads it. More Eagle baseball in just a moment. Go to the top of the 4th for the Eagles. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up. Bell, Smith, and Leininger. Reese Bell 0 for 1 in the ball game. Struck out looking back in the 1st inning. Steps in here to lead things off with a 1-0 lead as we go to the top of the 4th. 20 pitches in inning number 3 for Hart. 45 pitches on the night.
We need 45 in this inning.
Hart comes set. The first pitch to Bell. And Bell swings and hits a ball past the diving James Sobey into left field for a base hit. 3rd hit of the night for the Eagles. Bell wasted no time making up for that strikeout. He took that first pitch into left field. Hard hit ground ball, James Sobey. I don't think he was ready for that one. And now in steps Logan Smith. Logan Smith 0 for 1 in the ball game. Grounded out to the 3rd baseman. One of the 3 that did it in the 2nd inning for the Eagles. He'll step in here with no outs, and Reese Bell at first base. Bell leads off, pickoff attempt. I will say this till the end of the season. Bell should not take a big lead. The left-handed pitchers own that pickoff attempt. He should have been called out against Liberty Hill and takes another big lead, and Hart has a great move. The first pitch to Smith. He'll turn around and bunt. It's a little popped-up bunt, but it dies in the grass. Hart throws the first in time. And Logan Smith does his job, the sack bunt. Moves the runner. Reese Bell into scoring position with 1 out.
Reese kind of, or not Reese, but Logan kind of pushed him off the base pad.
Well, and Harrison Sobey, to field the ball from the pitcher, had completely stood on both sides of that bag. The runner has a right to the bag at some path, and so avoided the big collision. You heard some disgruntledness. But with 1 out, Riley Leininger steps in. The sacrifice bunt by Logan Smith successful. 1-3 on the out. As Hart fielded that one. But Reese Bell down at 2nd now. They wanted to check. The home plate umpire checks down to the third base umpire. He did not go. So Leininger 1-0 to count. Leininger 0 for 1 in the ball game. A ground out to third base in the second inning. Steps in here with 1 out and a runner at second. The 1-0 pitch. Misses low for ball 2. Riley Leininger gets a hold of a ball like he did at Marble Falls here. It will not be off the wall. It will be off the oak tree on the other side of the wall, about 25 feet.
Hit that Papa John sign at that next field. That'd be all right with me.
2 balls, no strikes to Leininger. The 2-0 pitch. It's in there. It gets away. Reese Bell's going to try to advance. Robles throws down, and in time, and another base running mistake for the Eagles. Robles gets all the way back, throws out Bell, trying to advance to the third. It was a strike. 2-1 to count now against Leininger. So 2-5 on the caught stealing. For out number 2, Leininger steps back in now with 2 outs. And a 2-1 count. Hard comes set. The 2-1 pitch. High and inside. Leininger just gets out of the way. 3-1 now the count. Leininger thought the other pitch was a called ball.
No, he was saying it hit him because he motioned to his jersey like it touched it, but home plate umpire didn't buy it. Something smells fantastic.
3-1 to count to Riley Leininger. This one misses for ball 4. So Leininger draws the 2-out walk. Eli Hellman will step in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Leininger, the 2-out base runner. The first walk issued by Edward Hart on the night. Hellman will step in from the right side. Leininger leads off first. Held on by James Sobey. Or correction, Harrison Sobey, the first baseman. The first pitch to Hellman in the turf for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Eli Hellman. He'll step out and look down to Coach Vieira, who runs through the signs for Leininger and Hellman. Hellman back in the box. Leininger leads off first. Sobey holds him on there. Hart comes set from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. All gas, no brakes on that one.
Hart still dealing really well.
1-1 to count now. That was what you would call the fastball. Hart reared back and fired that one in there, and a big cut by Hellman. 1-1 to count now with 2 outs. Leininger leads off first. The 1-1 pitch. And Hellman hits it out towards second base. The second baseman duffing up with it. Fires the first in time for out number 3. 4-3 on the putout, and the Eagles go down here in the top of the 4th. Now before they have no runs on 1 hit. No errors and no runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0. Georgetown leads it. More Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Go to the bottom of the 4th. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters do it for the Mules here in the bottom of the 4th. Sobey, Hart, and Robles. Sobey, James Sobey, the third baseman, do up here. Silva steps in for his 4th inning of work. First pitch to Sobey. Breaking pitch. In there for a called strike. Sobey, after a leadoff walk by Angelo in the first inning, swung at the first pitch and grounded into the 6-4-3 double play. Takes that one. And now fouls this one off for strike 2. 0-2 the count now. But he didn't see the fastball the first go around here. He saw the fastball in the first at bat. Silva went to the breaking pitch the second time around. And Sobey not ready, offset, waiting for the fastball. And now down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, when that fastball is working that well and the breaking pitch is hitting some edges, it really helps Silva do what he's trying to do against these hitters.
The 0-2 pitch. Up and in for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sobey 0 for 1 in the ball game. Hitting into the 6-4-3 double play in the first. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. It's in the turf. Mazick comes up with it. Calls inside, throws down for the putout. Second strikeout of the night for Silva. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Hart. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. He had a single to right field. Swung on the first pitch in his first at bat. Was left stranded at first base. Steps in here with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. The first pitch from Silva. And Hart hits it into right field, but right at Landon Heil. 2 steps to his left, and the line drive caught. 4 out number 2, L9 in the book. And a quick second out brings up the catcher, Robles. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game as he flew out to Klaus Keismore in foul territory to end the first.
That big old kid swinging the bat like that, you're glad whenever it leaves the bat when the right fielder doesn't even have to move much. And some instant relief.
And a lot of that cut down with a short wall in left or right field. Robles hits a ball on a line, and that's going to get down. Heil will cut it off before it hits the wall, and he'll get it back in, and Robles will have to check up. They'll throw behind him at first, but he gets back in and dives in safely. So a 2-out single there.
Boy, heads-up play out there in right field. My goodness, he got to that fast and got the ball in, and they had a play at first base just a little bit late on the throw, but that's heads-up defense back there that Coach Vieira and this Eagle team really likes to see.
Courtesy runner for the catcher is going to be number 25, Philip New. New will come in to run, and now due up is the designated hitter, Holden Carter. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner on first. First pitch is up and in for a ball. 1-0 the count to the designated hitter, Carter. 0-1 pitch, or 1-0 pitch, fouled off back to the screen. 4 strike 1, 1-1 the count now to Holden Carter. Will Broderick, the right fielder, on deck for the Mules. 1-0 your score. The Eagles scored in the third. An RBI double with 2 outs by E.J. Davis. Scored Zach Zavala all the way from first base, who was courtesy running for the catcher, Mazick. The Eagles struck there, and now both teams sitting on 3 hits here in the ball game. Pitchers duel. The 1-1 pitch to Carter. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Silva's got that breaking pitch working very well.
Silva back in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the glove of Mazick for strike 3. And the Mules are down here in the bottom of the 4th. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. 1 runner left on. After 4 innings, 1-0, Georgetown leads it. Back with more Eagle baseball here on SHN. go to the top of the 5th inning. The 8-9-1 hitters due up for the Eagles. Klaus Keismore, Petty, and Mazick. Klaus Keismore steps in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Through 4 innings, Edward Hart has thrown 55 pitches, scattered 3 hits, allowed 1 run, struck out 1 and walked 1. First pitch is low for a ball. 55 pitches through 4 innings. Nick Silva has thrown 39. A pitcher's duel with pitching outs staying pretty low. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike. 1-1 to count. To Ty Klaus Keismore. Andon Petty waits on deck.
Ty'd like to have another shot at a pitch just like that.
The 1-1 pitch from Hart. And Ty, check swing down the right field line. And the catch will be made right on the line by Broderick for out number 1, F9 in the book. And that'll bring up Andon Petty. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game as he lined out to the left fielder, Zunker, back in the 3rd inning. Petty steps in from the right side. One out here in the top of the 5th. Hart comes set. The first pitch to Petty, and he'll take a swing and he'll drive it down the first baseline, but it'll curl out of play for strike 1.
That one hit a car.
H&R Auto Body, a proud sponsor of Georgetown Eagle baseball. For all your auto body baseball dented needs. The 0-1 pitch to Petty on the outside corner, called strike. 0-2 the count.
You hope Hart will start getting tired a little bit here, but he's still commanding his pitches well and hitting the spots that he wants.
0-2 count to Andon Petty. 1 out here in the top half of the 5th inning. The 0-2 pitch. A delayed called strike 3, and Robles celebrates by heaving it into right field. So only the 2nd strikeout of the night for Hart. Both have come via the looking variety. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th, and in steps Zachary Mazick. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. Reached on an error by the shortstop Angelo. In the 3rd, Zach Zavala ran for him and was driven in by Davis. Check swing by Mazick, fouls it off of himself. He kills the ball. 0-1 the count now to Mazick. The pitcher Hart is a commit to Duke University in the ACC. Imagine with his size, he could play more than one sport. The 0-1 pitch to Mazick. Skips in. And back to the backstop for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Mazick back in from the left side. The 1-1 pitch. Mazick lets it go. It's low for ball 2. 2-1 the count. To the senior catcher, Zachary Mazick. E.J. Davis, the second baseman, waits on deck. The 2-1 pitch from Hart. Up and out for ball 3. 3-1 now.
That ball missed more than any we've seen to this point, so that could be an indicator that Hart might be starting to get a little bit tired. We'll see.
The 3-1 pitch to Mazick. On the lower half, but like you said, this is a lower strike zone, and it's in there for a called strike as Mazick thought it was ball 4, started to take off, held onto his bat, and jumps back in. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Mazick battles against Hart. Hart comes set, the payoff pitch. This one misses low for ball 4. A 2-out base runner aboard for the Eagles again.
So we've got some comments in the YouTube chat saying it's Mazok, but we had that conversation with
Please
Zach
go back
himself.
to the coaches show, the first one of the year. We visited with Zachary Mazick himself, and he gave us 2 pronunciations. By itself, it's Mazok. In full pronunciation, it's Zachary Mazick. And so I agree. It is Mazok, but it is Mazick when you say his full name, according to Zach.
Yeah.
The 2-out base runner down as Zach Zavala leads off first. He courtesy runs for the catcher Mazick. E.J. Davis back in. He is 1 for 1 on the night, or 1 for 2 on the night. First pitch is just high for ball 1. 1-0 the count.
Interesting. Umpire had something to say to the catcher about, because the catcher jumped up and looked back at the umpire. Umpire had something to say about that. He did not like that.
E.J. Davis responsible for the 2-out RBI double to score the only run of the ball game. Pickoff attempt to first as Zavala dives back in safely. E.J. Davis grounded out to short in the first. Doubled to right center field. Pickoff attempt. Zavala dives back in. Great move by Hart.
Well, he is really good at that snap throw over.
A lot of things you see about this young man that emphasize why he's going to a D1 program at Duke University. The 1-0 pitch to Davis. Misses outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count. So like you said, Kelly, maybe signs that Hart's starting to tire out. I know they use this young man a lot. Was it last year or the year before? He threw both games in a week, threw over 250 pitches before the pitch count came into effect. The 2-0 pitch to Davis. Outside ball 3. The throw down back behind Zavala. But Obi has to just block it and keep it in front of him. 3-0 the count to E.J. Davis. Landon Heil waits on deck. And now a visit from the coaching staff for the Mules. Quick timeout. Back with more Eagle Baseball on SHN. Visit to the mound comes to an end, and now Hart back on the mound. E.J. Davis steps back in from the right side. 2 outs, a base runner on first. A 3-0 count to Davis. The 3-0 pitch. It's in there for a called strike. Had to think that bat was not moving off the shoulder of Davis. After Zach got behind in the count 0-2 and drew a walk.
It may sit there again.
3-1 the count. Zavala leads off first. Sobey holds him on. Pickoff attempt. And Zavala dives back in safely. They saw an exhibition of the speed of Zavala in the RBI double from E.J. Davis when he scored from first base. Not letting him get a big lead there. The lefty Hart with a great move. Over to first. 3-1 count to Davis. The 3-1 pitch. Davis fouls it off back to the screen for a foul ball. 3-2 now the count.
Let's get something working. 2 outs. It's time.
You had the leadoff or the 2-out runner reach on the walk by Mazik. Zach Zavala will be off with the pitch on the full count and 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. 1-0. Georgetown leads it over the Mules of Alamo Heights. The payoff pitch. And a ball slapped into right field. It's going to take the right fielder Broderick about 3 feet short of the wall, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on after 4.5. It's 1-0. Georgetown leads it over Alamo Heights. Back with more Eagle Baseball on SHN in just a moment. To the bottom of the 5th inning. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters do up for the Mules. Broderick, Zunker, and Duffin. 39 pitches through 4 innings for Nick Silva as he steps on the mound. Start out the 5th inning here for the Eagles. The first pitch to Broderick in there for a called strike. Broderick reached on a single in his first at-bat. Was then a victim of the 6-4-3 double play. The 0-1 pitch fouled off back to the screen for strike 2. So 1-1 on the night. Now a 0-2 count to lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th for Broderick and the Mules.
You like to see Silva dealing this late into the game.
The 0-2 pitch. And the ball slaps foul down the third base line. Ty Klaus Geismore gives a long run, but it's going to curl out of play. So Broderick stays alive in the at-bat, especially knowing, Kelly, that you have a fresh Wade Denton in the bullpen. Multiple pitchers that haven't pitched in a while. The last time Denton saw action was on the Tuesday against Liberty Hill. He came in and struck out the side against Liberty Hill to finish the ball game after Silva went 6 strong innings. The 0-2 pitch to Broderick. Ground ball out towards second. Davis charges it, takes it on a couple of hops, flips over to Bell at first base. For out number 1, 4-3 in the book. And that'll bring up Parks Zunker, the left fielder. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. Back in inning number 2. Steps in with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. This ball game going quickly. We are in the bottom of the 5th inning, an hour and 12 minutes into play. Tomorrow night, game 2 of the bi-district round. Back live at Eagle Field in Georgetown, Texas. First pitch to Zunker. Misses for a ball. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch. The Eagles will be the home team in game number 2. The 1-0 pitch to Zunker. Outside corner called strike 1.
Lady Eagles have their first game of their second round matchup tomorrow as well.
Best of luck to them. They cruise through the first round. The 1-1 pitch fouled off down the first base line. Out of play by Zunker. Now the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another core.
The fans over here on this side, every one of them watches to see which car is going to get smacked.
The 1-2 pitch to Zunker. Outside corner. And a beautiful job to try to paint that corner. 2-2, a little bit outside, but hit the glove right where Mazik had set up.
If the batter does reach for it, he got no chance of doing anything with it, so that's a good pitch.
2-2 breaking ball, grounded out towards short. Hellman on a couple of hops, fires over to Reese Bell for out number 2. 6-3 in the book. 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th, and that'll bring up Jackson Duffin, the second baseman. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Popped up to the second baseman, E.J. Davis. Back in the 3rd inning. I apologize. Our crowd mic is vital. We love the sounds of the game in this, but with the music that they played between innings, we have to mute it. I forget sometimes to get it back going. I apologize. First pitch to Duffin is high for ball 1. 1-0 the count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 run in the 3rd for the Eagles. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Mules. The 1-0 pitch just misses high for ball 2. To Duffin.
Georgetown pitchers have given up some base runners with 2 outs through the season as well, so.
2-out pitch in there. Or a called strike. 2-1 now the count to Duffin, the second baseman for the Mules.
Sure would like to see Silva in this right here.
From the windup, the 2-1 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 2. Two count to Duffin. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. 2-2 pitch. Logan Smith hit the track post. He thought he was coming off. Just missed for ball 3. So full count now. Silva from the windup. The payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. And the Mules go in order here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. After 5 innings, we're still sitting 1-0. Georgetown leads it over the Mules of Alamo Heights. Back with more Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment. Go to the top of the 6th inning. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters do up for the Eagles. Landon Heil, Reese Bell, and Logan Smith. Heil 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Reached base in both at bats. Singled in the first, reached on the fielder's choice in the third. Steps in here to lead things off in the top of the 6th inning. Hart back on the mound, 73 pitches through 5 innings. On to start his 6th inning of work here in the ballgame. The lefty's first pitch just misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. To Landon Heil, the right fielder. Heil back in. Hart comes set. The 1-0 pitch. It's on the lower half of the strike zone where that umpire has been calling him all night. Good pitch there. 1-1 now. The count to Landon Heil as he takes it for strike one. Hart comes set. The 1-1 pitch. And Heil hits it back up between second and short. And to center field for a base hit. Now 2 for 3 on the night. And a leadoff runner aboard again here in the 6th inning for the Eagles. The 4th hit of the ball game allowed by Hart. In steps Reese Bell. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out in the first, singled in the 4th. Then tried to advance to third on a pass ball and got thrown out by Robles.
Is that the 3rd time we've had a leadoff runner on?
I think so. I'm just going to have to look at that here in just a second. The first pitch to Bell misses inside for ball 1. Three out of 6 innings. Make that, 3 out of 6 innings. The Eagles have had the leadoff batter aboard. Start the inning. Landon Heil singles to lead it off here in the 6th inning. Heil leads off first, held on by Sobey. The 1-0 pitch to Bell, way outside. 2-0 the count now to Big Reese Bell, the senior first baseman for the Eagles. Logan Smith, the third baseman, on deck for the Eagles. Heil leads off first. Hart comes set, takes a look over. The 2-0 pitch to Bell. Bell takes it. Called a strike on the inside corner. 2-1 the count now to Reese Bell.
Reese needs to send that one into the wooded area.
Heil leads off. The 2-1 pitch to Bell, and he'll send it into right center field. And it's going to find a bounce off the wall. Heil around second. He's headed to third. He's going to be held up at third. And then Bell is barely going to get into second base. I tell you what, if the right fielder, Broderick, makes a better throw and doesn't just kind of lob it in, Bell gets hosed down at second base. But now a pinch runner is going to come in for Bell. A double to lead or to follow the single by Heil. So now runners on second and third with Logan Smith coming up. And now Jacob Faltasek will check in to pinch run for Reese Bell. So a double to right center field by Bell. Now 2 for 3 in the ball game. Moves Heil all the way up to third with no outs. Coach Vieira put up the stop sign pretty quick there for Heil.
Yeah, what an opportunity here for Logan Smith. He could drive in a run or two here. That's going to be big with the lack of production that the Mules have had tonight.
No outs. Runners on second and third for the Eagles. Logan Smith steps in. The first pitch to Logan outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Logan Smith. Logan 0 for 1 in the ballgame. A ground out to third base back in the 2nd inning. But then laid down a beautiful sac bunt in the 4th to move Bell up to second base. Stands in 0-1 with no outs. And 2 runners on, both in scoring position. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. Beautiful pitch there by Edward Hart. 1-1 now the count to Logan Smith.
Hart pulled the string on that one, and Logan was way out ahead of that breaking pitch.
Looking for that 1-0 fastball, and he did not get it. The 1-1 count now to Logan Smith. The 1-1 pitch stays elevated for ball 2. 2-1 now the count.
That's a tough pitch to lay off of because it's right at the top of the strike zone, but the umpire's been consistent on the height of that strike zone.
2-1 now the count to Logan Smith. Hart comes set. The 2-1 pitch. Smith, a swing and a miss.
It's a big pitch right here, boy. Big pitch.
2-2 the count to Logan Smith. No outs, runners on second and third. Landon Heil down at third. Jacob Faltasek, the pinch runner for Reese Bell, down at second. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. And Logan Smith down for out number one. The third strikeout of the ball game for Hart, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, number 20, Riley Leininger. The super sophomore steps in. 0 for 1 in the ball game. Grounded out in the second, walked and left stranded at first, back in the fourth inning. The first pitch to Leininger, up and in for ball one.
Nice job of selling that inside pitch. Got a big gap in between the right fielder and center fielder.
1 ball, no strikes to Leininger. 1 out, runners on second and third. Hart comes set, the 1-0 pitch. Leininger slaps it into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. That'll score Heil. Here comes Faltasek around third to home. The play at the plate, not in time. Jacob Faltasek, the pinch runner, comes around to score the third run of the ball game. And the Eagles take a 3-run lead on a 2 RBI single by your super sophomore, Riley Leininger.
Oh, boy. What an opportunity there for Riley, and he took advantage of it, put that ball out into right field. Better throw may have a play at the plate, but they were unable to pull it off, and that's 2 huge runs in this game.
3-0 lead now for the Eagles. As Heil scores from third, Faltasek from second. 1 runner on first base, Leininger. And in steps Eli Hellman. He'll square around a bunt, puts it out in front of the mound. Hellman motors down the line to play at first, just in time. 1-3 on the sack bunt. So Hellman gives up himself there to get the runner in scoring position with 2 outs. A base hit here will score that run as Ty Klaus Keismore steps in.
That was a pretty bunt, and he actually had a chance to beat that bunt out.
A great job by Hart to fill the position there, make a good throw to Sobey.
PA announcer quit on that name.
On Ty?
Ty Klaus.
Ty Klaus Keismore steps in here. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. A ground out in the third and a fly ball. Back in the 5th inning. Steps in here with 2 outs.
It's the small things in life, really. They bring me so much joy.
The first pitch to Ty on the inside corner for a called strike. 0-1 the count to Klaus Keismore. Andon Petty on deck for the Eagles. Here in the top of the 6th, 2 runs across for the Eagles. 3-0 the lead now for Georgetown. Hart comes set. A look back at Leininger at second base. The 0-1 pitch to Klaus Keismore misses low and outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count to the left fielder, Klaus Keismore. So you have the dual dad group tonight here underneath the press box. And then down the first baseline, you have the second group standing. They just cannot sit during the game, Kelly.
Yeah, that's funny.
The 1-1 count. A look back at second for Hart. The 1-1 pitch to Klaus Keismore, swing and a miss. A throw back behind Leininger. Not in time. He missed on the tag. Good throw there behind the sophomore Robles. But 1-2 the count now to Ty Klaus Keismore. A big 2 RBI single by Riley Leininger.
Ty's got 23 RBI on the season. It's a big opportunity for him here.
The 1-2 pitch. Klaus Keismore hits it out towards second. The second baseman Duffin up with it, throws the first in time for out number 3. 4-3 on the putout. Retires the Eagles here in the top of the 6th, but not before 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of 6th. 3-0. Georgetown leads it over the Mules. Back with more Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
We go back to action here in the bottom of the sixth. The Mules bring up the 9, 1, and 2 hitters. Corbin Gunner, the center fielder, leads it off. Ground ball on the first pitch, out to Logan Smith at third. He fields it to his left, a throw across the diamond in time. 4 out, number 1, 5-3 on the put out. There is Logan Smith.
Logan's been itching to be able to get into this game and make a play, and somebody hit a ball to him, and finally he got the opportunity and just threw a frozen rope over to first.
And Reese Bell did substitute back in after being pinch run for, so Jacob Faltasek is not available the rest of the ball game, but he did his job scoring on the single by Leininger. The first pitch to the leadoff hitter, Angelo, is up and in for ball 1. Angelo, 0 for 1 in the ball game, walked in the first, struck out looking in the third. Swing and a miss on the 1-0 pitch. 1-1 now the count.
Silva's not wasting any time. I like it. He's worked fast all night, gets that sign, and goes to work.
The 1-1 count to Angelo. A bunt down the third baseline, but it's out of play, foul down the third baseline, and Zachary Mazik wasted no time getting out of his stance and grabbing it foul. So now a 1-2 count to Angelo. Here in the bottom of the sixth, 3-0. The Eagles put up 2 in the top of the sixth. 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Mules. Silva, 54 pitches through 5 innings.
Pretty effective work, efficient.
From the windup, the 1-2 pitch to Angelo. Just misses low and outside. Breaking pitch.
Those double plays earlier helped keep that pitch count down, too.
2-2 the count. This one hops in. Now a full count. To the leadoff batter, the shortstop, Bennett Angelo. The third baseman, James Sobey, waits on deck for the Mules. 1 out here in the bottom of the sixth. The payoff pitch popped up on the infield. Reese Bell will range over to his right, and he'll make the catch. About a step off the infield grass for out number 2. P3 in the book. And that'll bring up James Sobey. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Grounded into a double play in the first. Struck out swinging in the fourth. Steps in here with 2 outs in the bottom of the sixth. The Mules down to their final 4 outs to try to come back here in game number 1. Silva pulls the sleeves up and goes to work. Fouled off, and there went our crowd mic. It got a ring. Is that one hit the net? So it's going to be buzzing until we can fix it. 0-1 the count to Sobey. The 0-1 pitch just misses low for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Sobey, the third baseman, steps in. 0 for 2 on the night. 1-1 count. Silva ready to go from the windup. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball foul pulled towards the third base dugout. 1-2 the count. Another quick 2 outs here to start the inning for the Eagles. This is where you want to see them close it out. Get out of this inning and go to the 7th. Starting to see some action down in the left field bullpen, the Mule bullpen. The 1-2 pitch. Low and outside, ball 2, 2-2 the count. Good spot to miss if you can get Sobey to chase there.
If he does anything with it, it's going to be a harmless ground ball down the first baseline.
The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Mules go down in order here in the bottom of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left on. After 6 complete, 3-0, Georgetown leads it. Back with more Eagle baseball here on SHN in a moment. go to the top of the 7th inning. 3-0 your score. Georgetown leads it over Alamo Heights. The 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up here in the top of the 7th for the Eagles. Petty, Mozick, and Davis. Andon Petty steps in, 0 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch is low for a ball. 93 pitches through 6 innings for Edward Hart as he starts out here in the top of the 7th as well. 1-0 the count to Andon Petty. The 1-0 pitch skips in for ball 2.
The Mules can't afford to give up any base runners here, so it's going to be interesting to see if Andon can get on base if the coach stays with Hart. He's still throwing pretty well, but he may start getting a little tired.
The 2-0 pitch, and Petty swings, chops one down to third. Sobey up with it across the diamond to Sobey other. James to Harrison for the putout, 5-3 for out number 1.
And that's that answer we don't have to worry about.
Kind of surprised to see Petty swinging a 2-0 pitch when neither of the two balls
Catcher number
were
19,
anywhere close.
Zachary Mazar.
Zachary Mozick steps in. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Hit by a pitch in the first inning, walked in the 5th, reached on an error in the 3rd. The 0-1 pitch to Mozick. Skips in, down 3 feet short. 1-1 the count. Number 10, Luke Butler, warming up in the Mule bullpen. The 1-1 pitch to Mozick, fouled off. 1-2 now the count. Through 6 and a third, Hart has scattered 7 hits, allowed 6 hits, allowed 3 runs, 2 of them earned, struck out 3, walked 2, and hit a batter. The 1-2 pitch to Mozick, fouled off down the first baseline, out of play. Stays alive.
Oh, a good strong cut at that pitch. Man, he swung hard at that.
That pitch right there was the 100th pitch of the night for Edward Hart. Hart comes set. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Mazick checked his swing. Took it for ball 2. 2-2 now the count to Zachary Mozick. Zach back in from the left side. The 2-2 pitch. Mozick takes it and called strike 3. For out number 2. 4th strikeout of the night for Edward Hart. As he'll face off against E.J. Davis now.
E.J. Davis.
Davis steps in, 1 for 3 in the ball game. None bigger. That one was an RBI double. With 2 outs in the 3rd inning to take the first lead of the ball game. Right now it serves as would be the game-winning run. Davis steps in here from the right side with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. The first pitch misses low for ball 1. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch tomorrow night live from Eagle Field. Myself, Wally Harmon, and my buddy here, Kelly DeVoll, will be on the call here on SHN Sports. Game 2 of the bi-district playoff matchup between your Georgetown Eagles and the Alamo Heights Mules. 1 ball, no strikes to E.J. Davis, the second baseman. Hart comes set, the 1-0 pitch. Across the outside part of the plate for a called strike. 1-1 the count now to E.J. Landon Heil on deck for the Eagles. Should Davis reach base? The 1-1 pitch. Davis with a big cut on that high fastball. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 1-2 to count. Got to get a big crowd out at Eagle Field tomorrow night. Game number 2. The 1-2 pitch to Davis. Went with something off speed, and it took off on its own direction.
And it went off speed.
Went off and out and up and anywhere but close.
Just a bit outside.
2-2 now the count to E.J. Davis. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. 3-0. The Eagles lead it over the Mules. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Eagles go in order here in the top of the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. After 6.5, it's 3-0. The Mules down to their last 3 outs to make a comeback here in game number 1. More Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Nick Silva on for his 7th inning of work. Through 6 innings, he's allowed 3 hits, struck out 5, walked 1. He has thrown 66 pitches through 6 innings, Kelly. No reason to go to the bullpen right now. And Nick Silva on to work the 7th inning. He'll face off against the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Hart, Robles, and Carter. Hart steps in, the first pitch, up and away for ball 1. Hart 1 for 2 in the ball game, a single and a line out to right field. The 1-0 pitch from Silva misses low for ball 2.
These Mule fans and players are still pretty fired up.
2-0 count to the big lefty, Edward Hart. The 2-0 pitch grounded out to second base. E.J. Davis with a backhand throws the first in time for out number 1. 4-3 on the putout, and the Mules down to their final 2 outs as Bruno Robles, the catcher, steps in. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. And right there, kind of like Andon Petty, I was really surprised Hart swung at the 2-ball, no-strike pitch in the 7th inning.
You got to have base runners.
Yeah.
He's had some control problems on those first 2 pitches.
See a pitch. But we like it. 1 out, and Robles, first pitch to him is outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Bruno Robles, the sophomore catcher, steps in from the left side. The 1-0 pitch fouled off back to the screen for strike 1. But they've not changed that pattern all night.
They haven't. They've been aggressive at the plate. Only 3 hits on the night, but they've had some base runners. Just hadn't been able to push any of them across.
Got 2 of those 3 base hits. Ball sent into left field right as music came on in the booth. But it's just another out for the Mules. F7 in the book as Ty Geismore makes the catch. You can only blame your own press box for that one.
Yeah.
Bruno Robles swung at it, puts it into play right when the music jam came on. But now 2 outs. The Mules down to their last out as Holden Carter steps in, the designated hitter. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. The first pitch from Silva, and the ball hit and just over the jumping glove of Eli Hellman into left center field for a 2-out single. I thought Hellman had it for a minute.
I did too.
But a base hit.
I was about to be very excited.
Only the 4th hit of the ball game for the Mules, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Broderick. I think he'll get a pinch hitter here, or a pinch runner here. As Holden Carter, the designated hitter, leaves the field. William Blake will come in to pinch run.
Nick doesn't need to worry about this base runner, doesn't even need to look at him. Reese shouldn't even hold him on.
And as you say that, Coach Vieira walks out and points at the runner at first base and looks at Nick and shakes his head no. Don't worry about him. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. 3-0. Georgetown leads it. Broderick, the right fielder, steps in. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Takes the first pitch high and outside for a ball.
Yeah, he didn't even look over there. I wouldn't even have Reese standing on that bag.
1-0 the count to Broderick. Silva to the stretch. It comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Outside corner. And call the ball. 2-0 the count. Thought Silva caught that one. But 2-0 the count now to Broderick. Blake leads off first. The 2-0 pitch. Broderick was able to check his swing. Now a 3-0 count. To the right fielder, Broderick. Parks Zunker. The left fielder. Two up next for the Mules. The 3-0 pitch. Right down the heart of the plate. For a called strike. 3-1 the count. Kind of surprised me he didn't swing there as aggressive as he did.
I'm so nervous.
3-1 the count to Broderick.
It's pathetic.
The 3-1 pitch. Just misses for ball 4. So now 2 runners aboard with 2 outs. Just the second walk of the ball game for Nick Silva. I would have to guess that was Wade Denton that was down in the bullpen warming up for the Eagles.
Yeah, I think
and now a
so.
pinch hitter. Oh, this is Brooks Kieshnick Jr. But now a Coach Howard Payne visit from the Eagle bullpen or dugout. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with more Eagle baseball in just a moment. So a pinch hitter here, Brooks Kieshnick Jr. comes in to hit in place of the second baseman, or the left fielder, Parks Zunker, who was 0 for 2 on the night. Kieshnick Jr., the lefty, steps in. The first pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1.
I'm so nervous. Oh, so nervous. The fan part of this is awesome.
The 0-1 pitch just misses. Low and outside. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. Jackson Duffin, the second baseman, on deck for the Mules. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. The 1-1 pitch. Inside corner, strike 2. 1-2 the count to Kieshnick Jr. The name sounds familiar. His dad played baseball for UT before going to the pros. Brooks Kieshnick. 1-2 the count from Silva. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Eagles win it in 7 innings against the Mules, 3-0. A 4-hit performance by Nick Silva. A complete game shutout by the senior Nick Silva. We'll take a timeout. Kelly's going to head down and have a visit with
Nick
Coach
Silva.
Coach Vieira and Nick Silva.
Silva.
We'll take a break and be back here. You're listening to Georgetown Eagle Baseball on SHN Sports. Georgetown Eagles victorious in game number 1 over the Alamo Heights Mules, 3-0. Here in game number 1 at Alamo Heights tomorrow night, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch live from Eagle Field back at Georgetown, Texas. The Eagles will have an opportunity to sweep the series 2-0 and eliminate the Mules if they can win tomorrow's matchup. What a pitching performance by senior Nick Silva. He threw 82 pitches, a complete game shutout, only allowed 4 hits, struck out 6, walked 2. What a job by the senior Nick Silva for this Eagle baseball team. They don't have to go to the bullpen at all. Tomorrow, I think we would expect to see Jacob Haddon on the mound for the Eagles. Kelly's going to head down, trying to get a hold of Coach Vieira and talk to Nick Silva. But what a ball game. The Eagles scatter 6 different hits, take advantage of 1 error. And that error was big. It ended up being the game-winning run that came after that error. Zachary Mazik hit a ground ball to the shortstop. Angelo made the throw across the diamond, but it was in the dirt. And Harrison Scobie unable to scoop it. So Mazik reached base. Zachary Zavala came on to courtesy run for the catcher. And then E.J. Davis hit a 2-out RBI double to right center field to score Zach Zavala from all the way from first base. The first run of the ball game and proved to be the winning run. But the Eagles went ahead and tacked on a couple more runs in the 6th inning. Landon Hiles singled, and then Reese Bell doubled. And then in stepped Riley Leininger with 1 out after a Logan Smith strikeout, and Leininger had a single to right field that scored both Bell and Heil. A 2 RBI single by Leininger sewed it up for the next 2 runs. 3-0 your score tonight. The Eagles over the Mules. As soon as Kelly gets ready, we're going to go live down to the field with Kelly and Coach.
While I'm here with Coach Vieira, Coach, 1 down. Talk about this game tonight.
Man, we handed the ball to Nick Silva with all the confidence in the world that he was going to do what he did, and he attacked the strike zone with multiple pitches. Did a really good job of just competing. You got to talk about the 2 double plays at the beginning. They get a hit, and then we get a ground ball right after that to get the 6-4-3 to get us out and to move on. Then you got the timely hitting with EJ with the 2-out double. Then you got Bell with another double to score the last 2 runs there. I mean, it's a really good game, quality game. There's obviously a couple things we got to be a little bit better at as far as base running stuff goes. But pitching and defense was there tonight. Boys did a great job.
Well, and tip of the cap to Edward Hart, their starting pitcher tonight. He was throwing good stuff, dealing good stuff, did everything he could. But the defense really stepped up tonight behind Nick as well. You talked about that, and we've talked about that all season. So 1 down, got the Mules coming to Georgetown tomorrow. What, more of the same?
Yeah, so that's the plan. We're gonna run out another quality arm. We're gonna compete in the strike zone. We're gonna try and play quality defense behind him, and then again try and have quality bats with some timely hitting. Maybe steal a couple bags, see what we can do. Should be a fun one. So show up at Eagle Field tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Be loud, wear blue, and bring as many people as you can with you. Should be a fun one.
Yeah, let's pack that house. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
We're going to talk to Nick here in a minute. You bet.
Wally.
Glad to be here. Wally, we're going to talk to Nick. Nick Silva, number 9, dealing the show tonight. 4-hitter, complete game. Nick, talk about that pitching performance tonight.
Yeah, so same old. The plan was to go in and shove it as usual. Just keep the score as minimal as possible, let the offense pick me up, and, I made pitches, and it led to a 0, so that's all you can ask for, really.
You had some good defense behind you, too. A couple of double plays early in the game helped keep that pitch count down, but it was under 60 pitches. 82 total pitches in 7 innings. That's a good dealing, man. How were you feeling? Did you start getting tired or late in the game?
I'd say I was more tired while warming up. It was hot, but I started the game and, weather cooled down and I didn't really ease up.
Well, Nick, great game tonight, buddy. Any shout-outs?
Shout out Brian Kane. Shout out the family.
All right. Congratulations. Good job tonight. Wally, back up to you.
Nick Silva, the winning pitcher tonight, scattered 4 hits and threw a 4-hit shutout. Complete game by the senior, number 9. 82 pitches, struck out 6. And none bigger than the strikeout to end the ball game. To strike out Kieschnick Jr. with base runners on first and second and 2 outs. This short porch down the right field line, 302 feet. You get a lefty in there that cranks one, it wouldn't take much to get it out of the park. And one, a play that Coach Boyd, you got to respect there. A smart decision. Put in a lefty stick and give him a shot with 2 runners on to try to tie that up with 1 swing of the bat. But Nick Silva shuts him down, strikes him out for out number 3, and the Eagles are victorious. We'll take a break, come back as soon as Kelly gets up here and closes this out. 3-0, Georgetown victorious in game number 1 here in the bi-district playoff round between the Georgetown Eagles and the Alamo Heights Mules. Be right back here on SHN.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Back here live at the Mule Yard in San Antonio, Texas, on the campus of Alamo Heights High School, where your Eagles win game 1 of the bi-district best-of-3 series, 3-0. The game-winning RBI brought to you courtesy by E.J. Davis. He had the RBI double in the 3rd inning that opened up the scoring to start the ball game there in the 3rd. And that 1 run held up, but the Eagles added a couple more on in the 6th inning to make it a 3-0 ball game. And then you just can't say it enough. Nick Silva, 82 pitch performance through a complete game, 4-hit shutout, striking out 6, only walking 2, not hitting a batter. And you couldn't ask for anything better. Now, you can't be surprised because this pitching staff continues to perform, but you could not ask for anything better out of your senior starter to now have a completely fresh bullpen and lineup ready for tomorrow in game 2.
And you heard the confidence in Coach Vieira's voice as he's standing there talking about Nick being on the mound. Not a lot of run production tonight, but he knew Nick was dealing early and very confident in what would follow. And the defense did a great job behind him, picking him up. Great game. It's what you want in that first game. Just get out of here with the W.
I tell you what, you were talking about timely double plays, and you couldn't say that any better. In the 1st inning, the Mules they get a base on balls to start the ball game in the bottom of the 1st. But then right then, James Scobie, the number 2 hitter on the first pitch, grounds into a 6-4-3 double play to get the 2 outs. Edward Hart comes up, singles to right field, and quickly of the four hits, 1 was there in the 3rd inning or in the 1st inning. But it wasn't anything to hurt you. You had the double play that erased the base runners, and then Hart's single is fruitless then because Bruno Robles pops out. And then you go to the next inning. 2nd inning in a row that they lead off with a base runner, or they get an out, but then a single by Broderick, and then he's erased in a 6-4-3 double play. So the defense responds and backs up their pitcher with 2 key double plays in the first 2 innings that set the tone, and Nick Silva just continued to drive on from there.
Yeah, and you hear the confidence in Nick's voice, too. He's a quiet, soft-spoken kid, but confident. There's that confident cockiness that's there that you want in your starting pitcher. And, again, we were kind of surprised that Nick's number got called to start the game tonight, but that just sets up a beautiful second game for tomorrow night's pitching staff.
Landon Heil, 2 for 2 on the ball game, or 2 for 3 on the ball game. 2 singles and a fielder's choice. Reese Bell struck out in his first at bat looking, and then comes through and has a single and a double on the night, scored a run. And so 2 of your 3 hitters, your 3 and 4 hitter right there in the lineup, also doing work. And then your production from E.J. Davis in the big double RBI double. So your 2, 3, and 4 hitters stepped up tonight as well. Mazik getting on base, and then Zavala doing a great job running in his place, coming around from first base on that RBI double from Davis.
A couple of quick shout-outs. Our buddy Nathan Height was listening in tonight. Nathan, thanks for joining us. And then our friend Snoop Daniel from Flex ATX listening in tonight. So it's good to have all of our YouTube viewers. Hey, join us tomorrow night. If you're in Georgetown and you can come out, pack those stands. It's a great ballpark. If you hadn't had a chance to be out there, come out there. Beautiful ballpark. It's covered. The seats are covered. let's pack that with Eagle Blue tomorrow night and send these guys on to the next round.
Really made me feel good. Coach said, pack the house and wear blue. I wore my gray sweatshirt tonight. Tomorrow night, I'll be in my Eagle Blue
Be in the
sweatshirt.
blue, baby.
Like I always am in my sweatshirts, but tomorrow night in the Georgetown Eagle Blue to pack the house. 6:30 pregame tomorrow night, live here on SHN. 7 o'clock first pitch. The Eagles go for a 2-game sweep over the Alamo Heights Mules to avoid having to play Saturday in Kerrville. What a game tonight, Kelly. It's a great ball game. It's the way you want to, if you could draw it up and start the playoffs every year like this, what a way to do it. A 3-0 victory on the road, and now you get to go home to your friendly confines to try to make the sweep. 3-0, Georgetown wins it over the Mules. Thanks for joining us tonight. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch tomorrow night live from Eagle Field here on SHN. Thanks for joining us. Have a safe night, and remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Good night, everyone.